Hello, it's me again, and I'm back on to talk of once again talk about the recent Strikeforce events. Except this time, I'm going to concentrate more on the fighters and the fights that are probably going to result instead of Strikeforce itself. Now, just a little review. Last time I talked about how Strikeforce had bought out the assets of Elite XC, and namely its library and 42 fighter contracts. Now, first of all, I'd like to talk about the two notable women from Elite XC that have crossover in the Strikeforce. Now, Strikeforce already had a women's fighting division, and that's actually where Kim Couture, I believe, had her last fight. So that's there. Like I said, the two most notable women are Gina Carano and Christine Cyborg Santos. Now, for their first fight, I believe it's April 11th, Santos has already been confirmed as one of the participants. Opponent has not been named yet, so we're expecting it to be Carano. If it's not, it's probably going to be someone like Kelly Cobalt or Tanya Evinger. I seriously doubt that they would match her up with Kim Couture because she fights at 135. So you can expect that. And if they don't fight, which is more than likely because Gina Carano says she wanted to do the fight right away, if they don't fight on the April 11th card, then they certainly will fight sometime after that. The next card probably will be May. So, and another note is that they will be fighting at 145, unlike Elite XC, who had a women's 140 division. Of course, or so Elite XC doesn't follow that. They are more in line. Strikeforce doesn't follow that. They're more in line with the mainstream. With the mainstream unified rules of mixed martial arts, and as a result, they will be following mixed martial arts rules, which the closest weight class is 145. That's gonna be easier for Gina Carano to make. She's basically been in that weight range every single time that she didn't make weight for the Elite XC cards. So, Christine Santos would be able to make weight either way. So we got that taken care of. Now the first fight, now in the lightweight division, of course we have the Elite XC champion Josh Thompson, yeah, I'm not sure how you pronounce the name. So he is confirmed to be on the the first Strikeforce card. The question is his opponent. It's more than likely going to be KJ Noons, but that's not been confirmed. The reason being that KJ Noons was the last was the last title holder of the lightweight division in Elite XC, but as a result of refusing to defend his title against Nick Diaz, Elite XC stripped him of his title. So the title was vacant when Elite XC went under, so officially you don't have any champion to kind of unify with the Strikeforce championship, but you do have the last champion, and that was KJ Noons, so he would be the most logical opponent for Josh Thompson on the card. Welterweight. Of course, Nick Diaz is going to be going up to welterweight because the Strikeforce lightweight is 155. Nick Diaz can't make that weight. He was cutting down to 160 for Strikeforce to be a lightweight. However, his manager and mentor, Cesar Gracie, said he won't be able to make that weight. And if you've seen Nick Diaz, he's basically a stick. So that's very understandable that he won't be able to make that weight. 5 pounds can make a big difference because he had problems making 160 division, and from what I understand, he walks around usually about 184 or something like that. So fighting at welterweight at 170, he's already cutting like 15 pounds or something like that. But we all know that he's going against Frank Shamrock at a catchweight of 179 for the upcoming fight on April 11th. So that's that. Another thing about welterweight, Jake Shields, he was the Elite XC champion. Strikeforce never had a champion before for this event, so we can expect that possibly that Jake Shields is probably going to go against someone, probably Nick Diaz after he fights Shamrock, maybe someone else. I'm not sure how many very good welterweights there are, or that either crossed over from the Elite XC or were already in Strikeforce, but we can expect that a fight's going to take place, and if Jake Shields wins it, he's going to be the Strikeforce champion. So that's that. Of course, we have the catchweight fight coming out of Ken Shamrock and Diaz. So that's that. Middleweight. Obviously, Frank is going to be there. We could also expect to see a unification fight between the champion, the Strikeforce champion Kung Lee, and the Elite XC champion B. Lawler. So that's middleweight. Also, a note about middleweight in Strikeforce is that they have a U.S. champion and a world champion. Why they have that, I don't know. Eugene Jackson is supposedly the U.S. champion. Kung Lee is the world champion. Like I said, I don't know why they have that, but I would expect that Eugene Jackson would probably be due next in line after that to unify the U.S. and world championships. So got that in order. Light heavyweight. Renato Sobral is the reigning champion, with Tito Ortiz currently being a free agent. We could maybe expect him to cross over. Obviously, Strikeforce was willing to let Renato Sobral fight for the fight on an Affliction card, so we might see it going the other way around, because Tito Ortiz is looking very comfortable with that promotion, or he may just, for all we may know, he may just sign with Affliction. We don't know. At the time that Elite XC went under, there was no light heavyweight champion, so that takes care of that. Heavyweight, Alstar Overeem, who's currently fighting in Dream, is the Strikeforce champion. However, the two parent companies, Silicon Valley Entertainment and Fighting Entertainment Group, the two parent companies of Dream and Strikeforce, have a very close relationship. Scott Coker, the CEO of Strikeforce, has ties with K1, so we're already expecting crossovers to take place. There's already talks about that taking place, and that would be very beneficial. So that's that. Antonio Silva, the Elite XC heavyweight champion, he's on probation. He's probably, I don't think he was part of the deal, because number one, he went over to Will Victor Road and fought when he wasn't supposed to. So there's that deal. Okay, I have a little time left. Quick talk. Kimbo Slice. Obviously, Strikeforce is smart. They're not going to use him as a main eventer. They're going to probably use him as a developmental fighter. So he probably will still be on main cards. It's just that we're not going to see him as the main event. So that's all. Wish I could talk about some others, but that's all for right now. So thank you.